talk about committees, kind of just introducing pretty much like, we just introduce ourselves as directors. We want you to know what exactly that means and what each of our departments do. Then just some upcoming events. We do put on a lot of events all year round pretty much, and we want you to come out to those. Specifically hackathons, which are like some of our larger events. To those of you who don't know what hackathons are, you'll find out shortly, but basically we host one per quarter. Hack Nights is sort of a new initiative. It's like going to be like a mini 3-hour hackathon thing. We'll talk about that a little bit. And then at the end, you're welcome to ask us any questions and we'll be able to answer those. Okay, so who we are. What Hacky UCI does is we are a student organization that essentially wants to give students the ability and kind of the platform to develop as engineers and just kind of learn how to build technology in general for the future. Our goal here is to promote, educate, and enhance the community around us. And we do that essentially by hosting events that help students learn and also apply what they've learned in competition / just in general to help build out something really cool.
So as introduced earlier, we kind of comprise of several different departments. So corporate, my department, we contact other companies and other businesses to get like sponsorships and also bring them to our events. Logistics are like the brains of the events. Like they plan everything out, what should go where in order like for the event to come alive. Technology, they maintain our Hack website, our application system for Hacky CI, and our Hackathon website and our club website. And marketing, their goal is to get the word of our events to you all. And graphic is also under marketing, but they work with marketing to create graphics to post on Facebook and other social media.
Yeah, so this fall, we're going to have some upcoming events. Next week, we're going to have a Chaw for Tea fundraiser and also Hack Nights, which we'll explain what that is later. In week 3, we'll also have a GitHub workshop. Week 4, an internship handle and resume workshop, since right now it's like application season. And week 8, we'll have an intro to React workshop. Like I said, week 2, 5, and 10, we'll have Hack Nights, and that's pretty much the weeks where we don't have an event. And then also we have Zot Hacks, which is going to be our fall hackathon. And you should keep an eye out for our official dates, which will be coming soon.
Yeah, so what is a hackathon? So our definition of a hackathon is basically kind of like a fun and empowering, nurturing place where people all over can learn and build new skills. So yeah, they're usually time limited or time based, where you have a limited amount of time to just come together, build something together, prototype, learn, and yeah, build a product of your dreams, learn something new, meet people in the community.
Cool. So can I get a show of hands? Who has been to a hackathon before? Very cool. Who hasn't been to a hackathon before? The majority of people. All right, cool. So this event might be for you. So Hacks is basically our beginner-oriented hackathon, kind of as an event for you to kind of see how hackathons work, compete with other people who are also beginner-oriented. Usually this event is usually about 12 hours where you build that web application with an assigned mentor who will help you along the way, as well as numerous technical workshops. And yeah, all the people who have raised their hand about they've been to a hackathon before, we're going to have mentor apps open as well, so you can help at the event for all the new hackers as well. And then after that, later in winter quarter, we're also going to have a Hacky CI, which is our organization's sort of main hackathon. It's the largest collegiate hackathon in Orange County, around 36 hours, and about 500 hackers come out to compete from not just UCI, but also all the other UCs as well, and CSUs and so on. And look up those apps later down by the end of fall. And then lastly, VSX. This is our newest hackathon that we are co-hosting with Wix, which essentially is a women-centric hackathon, about 24 hours, 500 hackers. And it's also beginner-oriented. All the hackathons we mentioned are also beginner-oriented, but Zot Hacks is like the one for you. But yeah, that's coming around spring quarter. And lastly, we're going to talk about Hack Nights. So essentially, Hack Nights are mini sort of nights for you to come out with meet some people in the CS community, as well as work on a project and meet some people from the team, or just hang out. So we'll be meeting here on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Every so often, the weeks that we are not hosting a workshop, we'll be having Hack Nights.
So as Riley was talking about in Hacks where you could apply to be a mentor, we'd love to have you as a mentor if you feel like you're more experienced and you don't really need the beginner experience of a hackathon. And so at the end of the slideshow, we do have a mentor application where you can sign up and basically join our team. And it's a one-time thing. And if you become a mentor, you'll be added to our mailing list. And if you have time to go to a hackathon, we'd love for you to be a mentor there and help out the other beginners there. And so, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
So stay connected with us. There are QR codes for each of our social media sites, our Facebook group, Instagram, our own website that has all the links to everything above, and our newsletter sign up. And you can join our Discord by going to our website, or you can go onto the UCI Discord hub and find Hack at UCI.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Those.
Very good. I think we're good. All right, and now this is just a time for like Q&A for any like questions from you guys for us to answer.
Do you have to apply to be a mentee? Not mentor, like.
Mentee.
Or it's like everyone.
Yeah, so we don't really have a concept of a mentee per se. So like when we ask our mentors, we're not really looking for like a mentor-mentee relationship here. What mentors are essentially like, we take a group of mentors, we'll train them a little bit, but essentially mentors are kind of expected to have like some sort of front end, back end knowledge that they can contribute. And essentially, for example, for Hacks or like beginners in general, like generally they need help, and their mentors are a great resource for them to ask, and just kind of, it's more of a question answer thing than it is like a mentor-mentee relationship. Yeah.
For hackathons, will there be any like language restrictions? Like, oh, only use Python, only use JavaScript. No? So you can just do anything.
Yeah, you can use anything, but sometimes you do want to work with a team. So you might want to learn a new language with the team, or trying to like come to a consensus of what language to use.
Okay.
Other than that, in Hacks, we don't enforce anything, but for example, like all of our workshops are geared towards like, for example, front end, obviously we'll have like most likely React, in which case like we will obviously, like if you know Angular, go for it, but if you don't, like React is something that we can support, and like if you hit a roadblock, we can help you with it. So there are like kind of, we also like, we have like some things that are like closer to our strengths, which we encourage, but nothing is ever mandated. I believe the person behind you had a question. No.
No, yeah, you can just come to any of our meetings whenever too.
And
And,
hackathons are completely free as well.
Yeah.
All our workshops are free. They're also recorded most of the time. So yeah, free resources.
Yeah.
Is there like a calendar of events that's
I think right now we did post on our Facebook and Instagram, just like a sort of like what we're going to do during the event. We're also going to be posting slides too to all our social media, so you can refer back to this later.
But I think, yeah, the best way to keep up with our events, usually we do announce them ahead of time on our social media. Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, we can't really sync with your Google Calendar, but all the dates are available for you to find it. Yeah.
How often are you guys going to be doing Hacks?
Once a year. So again, we have one hackathon per quarter. Hacks is our like, it's geared towards beginners. And then if you want to go to another hackathon, you just go to Hacky CI in the winter. Yeah.
But
And
if you
then-
really like Hacks, I mean, Hack Nights will have a very similar feel in the sense that, it is beginner oriented. All organizers will generally be there that are a good resource for you to kind of lean on if you're like hitting roadblocks when you're trying to build something. So yeah, like, there are events sort of like it, but like that competition of Hacks where you get a 12-hour period, that won't happen. Yeah.
In terms of preparing for the hackathon, how much of a time can it take?
So that kind of, so this year, the info session for Hacks, we'll kind of cover that a little bit. We do for fall, like we went over like kind of like we focus on like interviewing stuff, but there is also like an intro to React workshop. That can be helpful, but we don't really expect anyone to know anything coming into Hacks. Like if you're an ICS 31, that's great. You have some Python knowledge, so it kind of we can build off of that. If you don't, that's totally fine too. Like this is a very beginner friendly event. We'll teach you everything from the ground up. Yeah.
I saw on the list for projected events in the near future, you guys have the intro to React workshop. How much JavaScript are we expected to know heading into that, or?
I wouldn't say much. Like, I mean, if you're familiar with any programming language, I think you'll be fine. You know, like JavaScript is a little annoying to work with when you get into like the nitty gritty of it, but like this is going to be a fairly like overview style thing. So in that case, like as long as you like have a decent understanding of any programming language, you'll be able to like kind of understand what's going on, and you shouldn't struggle with like our intro to React workshop. Yeah.
Hackathon will be 2 hours long, so from 7 to 9. And then after our workshop that we have the other weeks, if there's remaining time for us in the room, we'll spend that time for open the stage to all of the code. So most weeks will be about an hour, and then for our dedicated hackathon, will be 2 hours long.
I was wondering what time these workshops usually start. Like, are they usually at night?
Yeah, they should usually be at this time.
This time, yeah, 7 on Thursdays.
When is the first half
Week 2, which
So-
is
next week?
next week.
Next Thursday.
And where is it?
Right here, right?
Right.
Right here, yeah.
This room.
Yeah,
Right
so obviously
here.
the layout of this place will look a little different. You know, there's tables there. We'll pull those out. It'll basically be like more of a classroom setting. But like, you know, like you'll be able to like meet people, work with them. If you want to work on your own thing, that's cool too. Chase actually runs these things. But yeah, like we kind of make sure that it's beginner friendly. And if you're at a more advanced level, you know, like a lot of us are like 4th years, like we all have like been through it ourselves. So we can kind of support at any level. So yeah, come out and just kind of see what you can do.
The idea is we want to create a space for you all to come and work on stuff. So we'll have music playing, some snacks, try to get some good vibes for you to come and program, be around some other people and show off the work that you do.
Cool.
Oh, it's in the back.
yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry if you have to walk. I think the elevator has a closing time, but you should always be able to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually we'll have something downstairs that will allow you to have a key card that will allow you to go up. So don't
Yeah.
worry about that.
Okay.
It was
No,
open when
like
you
on the
came
way
in?
down, like you won't be able to come up at like 9 p.m. That's all. But, yeah.
Okay.
So don't forget anything here.
Don't want to make things like this.
Yeah. All right. Any more questions? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll just have our schedule for the winter and the spring when those quarters start.
All right. If there's any more questions, you know, like even after the event, if you just run into one of us, you're more than welcome to ask us. Obviously, there's lovely organizers around here too. Can y'all raise your hands maybe? Yeah, so, you know, you can obviously ask them too. All of us are a great resource if you want to know anything.
They're among us.
Yeah.
Cool. I think we have one thing on the last slide. Cool.
Oh, yes. So if you want to apply to be a mentor for any of our hackathons, QR code is there on the right. And then our feedback form, is that for this event?
I think it's for this event, yeah.
Yeah, our feedback form for this event will be on the left. So we'd really greatly appreciate if you fill that out as well.
Please fill it out.
Yeah, we'll leave this up for a few minutes and then I can go back to the other QR code slide.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think we're good.
No, just leave this thing.
This week on, okay.
The website's not that.
Oh, just closing.
So any last questions before we wrap up? Cool.
Yeah, so the organizers will still be around, so if y'all want to just hang out, talk about anything, feel free to. If y'all have like, I guess, programming homework you want to do, you can do that here for a little bit too. But yeah, Chase, if you want, like, we can also host like a little bit of an informal hack night, so we can kind of pull out a few tables and just, if you want to work on something or just talk to us, you're more than welcome to do that too.
You can also talk to the person next to you, make friends.
True.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Yeah.